Let's be honest about something no one likes to admit. Modern dating, and modern socializing in general, is basically a survival horror game. But the graphics are really good, and the monsters don't look like monsters. They look like your dream partner. You go on a date, or you meet a new friend, or you get a new boss, and they are perfect. They are charming. They are charismatic. They listen to you like you are the only person who has ever existed in the history of the universe. They laugh at your jokes, even the ones you know aren't funny. They text you back instantly, and you think to yourself, finally, I found a human being who isn't broken. But here is the terrifying reality. A narcissist in the first 2 weeks of a relationship looks exactly like a soulmate. That is not an accident. That is a design feature.
You look great. Very fit.
You can always be thinner. Look better.
They are doing something called mirroring. They are scanning your personality, downloading your likes, your dislikes, your insecurities, and your dreams. Then, they are reassembling that data into a mask that looks exactly like the one. If you like indie music, suddenly they have been listening to indie music for years. If you have a difficult relationship with your father, suddenly they understand exactly how that feels because they are so empathetic. Most people navigate this minefield by looking for red flags. We are told to watch out for people who are rude to waiters, or people who talk about themselves too much. But here's the problem with red flags. By the time you see them, it is usually too late. Red flags appear after the mask slips, and the mask usually doesn't slip until you are already emotionally invested, or until you've signed a lease, or until you've introduced them to your mom. You don't need a red flag. You need a radar system. You need a way to spot the predator before they take a bite out of you. You need a way to look behind the mask in the first 20 minutes of a conversation over coffee. The good news? It's actually very easy. Narcissism isn't just a personality quirk, it's a rigid psychological structure. It's like a computer program, and like any program, if you input the wrong code, it crashes. I'm going to give you 3 specific questions, 3 lines of code that will cause a narcissist to glitch out and reveal themselves instantly. These aren't interrogation questions. They sound like normal, polite conversation, but they are actually psychological booby traps. Here is how to spot a narcissist before they ruin your life. Before we get to the questions, you have to understand why these work. We often think of narcissists as people who love themselves too much. We think of the guy flexing in the gym mirror, or the girl who posts 50 selfies a day. That's not narcissism. That's just vanity. Vanity is annoying, but it won't destroy your life. True narcissism, narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, is actually a defense mechanism against shame. Deep down, underneath the swagger and the charm, the narcissist hates themselves. They feel a deep, crushing sense of worthlessness. To survive, they build a fake self, a god version of themselves. And they need you and everyone else to constantly feed that fake self with attention, praise, and compliance. We call this narcissistic supply. The 3 questions I'm about to give you are designed to do one thing: threaten that supply. We are going to gently poke the fake self and see what happens. A normal person won't feel anything. A narcissist will react as if you just stabbed them. Question number 1. The history check. The first trap is hidden in the past. Narcissists are incapable of taking responsibility. To them, admitting a mistake feels like death, so they rewrite their own history.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan?
The question. You are going to ask, how did your last relationship end? Or, if you are interviewing a potential boss or business partner, why did things end with your last partner/company? Now, do not listen to the story they tell you. The story is likely a lie, or at least a highly edited version of the truth. You are listening for the character assignment. In a narcissist story, there are only 2 characters. 1. The hero/victim, them. 2. The villain/idiot, everyone else. Watch out for the crazy ex narrative. Oh man, she was insane. She was totally jealous and possessive for no reason. My last boss? Total psycho. He was threatened by how talented I was, so he tried to sabotage me. My parents? They're toxic. I had to cut them off because they couldn't handle my success. If they tell you that their ex was crazy, ask yourself a logical question. Why were they with a crazy person for 3 years? If they are so smart and perfect, why do they keep attracting psychos? The green flag versus the red flag. A healthy human being understands that relationships are complicated. Even in a bad breakup, a healthy person will usually admit to some fault, or at least neutrality. Green flag answer. Honestly, we just wanted different things. We argued a lot towards the end, and it wasn't bringing out the best in either of us. Green flag answer. I wasn't really ready for a commitment back then, and I think I hurt them by being emotionally unavailable. Do you see the difference? The healthy person uses the word I. They talk about their own role. The narcissist uses they. It was done to them. They are the eternal victim. The smear campaign preview. Here's the scariest part about the crazy ex answer. When they tell you their ex was crazy, they are showing you a trailer for your own future movie. Because right now, you are the soulmate. But in 6 months or a year, when you finally get tired of their abuse and try to leave, you are going to become the crazy ex in the story they tell the next person. If they trash talk everyone in their past, friends, family, lovers, it means they lack object constancy. They cannot view people as complex human beings. You are either all good, useful to them, or all bad, useless to them. There is no middle ground. If they can't find a single nice thing to say about someone they supposedly loved for years, run. Question number 2. The trivial no, the ultimate weapon. This is the most powerful tool in your arsenal. It's not technically a question, it is a behavioral test, and it has a 99% success rate. Narcissists view the world through the lens of control. To a narcissist, you are not a separate person with your own thoughts and feelings. You are an extension. Think of it like an arm. If you tell your arm to scratch your nose and your arm says no, you would be horrified. You would be angry. That is how a narcissist feels when you set a boundary. To test this, you need to set a micro boundary early in the interaction. It needs to be something small, something trivial, something that a normal person wouldn't even think twice about. The setup. Let's say you are deciding what to order. They say, we should share the seafood platter. You say, actually, I'm not huge on seafood. I think I'll just get the chicken. Or they say, let's go to this bar I know. It's awesome. You say, I've got an early morning tomorrow, so I think I'm going to call it a night after this coffee. Or they ask for your number immediately. You say, I usually like to chat on the app for a bit longer before swapping numbers. The reaction. Now, stare at their face. This is called the no test. A healthy person will say, oh, cool, no problem, or totally get it, because healthy people respect your autonomy. They don't mind if you have different preferences. A narcissist will suffer a narcissistic injury, even over something as stupid as a seafood platter. They feel rejected. They feel like their control is being challenged. They might not flip the table yet, but you will see the microaggression. Look for these 3 reactions. 1. The debate. Come on, don't be boring. The seafood here is world famous. You have to try it. Just have a little bit. They are trying to override your reality. 2. The sulk. Their face drops. They go quiet. They give you the cold shoulder for 5 minutes. They are punishing you for disobedience. 3. The mockery. Wow, okay, didn't realize you were so picky. They are devaluing you to regain superiority. If someone cannot handle the word no regarding an appetizer, how do you think they are going to handle the word no when you don't want to have sex? How will they handle no when you want to spend the holidays with your family instead of theirs? How will they handle no when you want to break up? The trivial no exposes their need for control instantly. If they push back against a boundary in the first hour, they will bulldoze your entire life in the first year. Do not negotiate. If they argue with a no, the date is over. Question number 3. The hero paradox. This final question reveals their grandiosity and their lack of empathy. Narcissists have a God complex. They believe they are special, unique, and superior to the sheep around them. Because they believe they are at the top of the food chain, they find it physically painful to look up to anyone else. The question. Ask them simply, who is your hero? Or who is someone you really look up to? Or even, who is the smartest person you know? This seems like a throwaway interview question, but it short-circuits the narcissist's programming. Healthy people experience a feeling called awe. We love seeing greatness in others. We love being inspired. I really look up to my grandfather because he worked so hard. I love this author. She's a genius. The narcissists struggle. The narcissist cannot give a straight answer to this because praising someone else feels like an admission of inferiority. If they say, Steve is smart, it implies, Steve might be smarter than me, and their ego cannot handle that. You will get one of 3 types of answers. Type A, the void. I don't really have heroes. I just trust myself. I'm a self-made man. I learned everything on my own. This is the most common answer. It is a direct statement of arrogance. They are telling you, I am the only god in my universe. Type B, the dead, fictional hero. They might name someone, but it will be someone who is dead or fictional. Napoleon, Steve Jobs, the Joker. Why? Because dead people are safe. Dead people cannot compete with them. Dead people cannot talk back. They are associating themselves with great men of history to signal that they belong in that club. But ask them about a living person, someone in their life. Silence. Type C, the backhanded compliment. They might name someone, but they will immediately tear them down. Well, I respect Elon Musk for his work ethic, but honestly, he's making some really stupid strategic moves lately that I wouldn't make. My mentor is great, but he's getting kind of old and losing his touch. They give a compliment with one hand and take it away with the other. They have to prove they are smarter than the person they just praised. If you are sitting across from someone who cannot genuinely, warmly admire another human being, you are sitting across from someone who will never admire you. you. In their eyes, you will always be beneath them. You will be an accessory to their greatness, never a partner. If they pass the 3 questions, or if they are smart enough to fake the answers, there is one final observation you need to make. It's a classic, but we need to look at it differently. How do they treat the NPCs? In a video game, you have the main characters, you and them, and the NPCs, non-player characters, the waiters, the Uber drivers, the cashiers. Narcissists are hierarchical. They kiss up to people with power, and they kick down at people without it. Watch how they interact with the server. A normal person makes eye contact. They say, "Thank you." They treat the server as a human. A narcissist often ignores the server entirely. They won't even look at them while ordering. They will just point at the menu and keep talking to you. To them, the server is a vending machine. Or watch for the glazing. This is the opposite of being rude. Sometimes, a specific type of narcissist, the communal narcissist, will be over-the-top nice to the waiter. They will perform a show of generosity. "My good man, keep the change. You are doing a fantastic job." They are doing this loudly so you can see how nice they are. But look at their eyes. Are they connecting with the waiter? Or are they looking at you to make sure you are watching them be nice? If the kindness feels like a performance, it is. Let's say they passed the questions. They didn't trash their ex too much. They accepted your no, mostly. They named a hero, but you still feel weird. This is the most important part of the video. Trust your somatic intelligence. Humans are animals. We have evolved for millions of years to detect predators. Our conscious brain, the neocortex, is easily tricked by words, but our limbic system, the lizard brain, is not. The lizard brain knows when there is a tiger in the tall grass, even if the tiger is wearing a tuxedo. When you are with a narcissist, your body will react before your mind does. Pay attention to these symptoms. 1. The fatigue. Do you feel drained after hanging out with them? Not good tired, but soul-sucked tired. That is because you have been unconsciously managing their emotions for 2 hours. 2. The over-explaining. Do you find yourself explaining simple things over and over again so they don't misunderstand you? That is your brain sensing their lack of empathy. 3. The anxiety. Do you feel a tightness in your chest? A fluttering in your stomach? We often mistake anxiety for butterflies. We think, "Oh, I'm so nervous because I like them." No, you are nervous because your intuition is screaming at you to run. If you leave a date and you feel confused, foggy, or exhausted, that is the answer. Healthy love feels like safety. It feels like a deep breath. Narcissistic love feels like a performance. Before we wrap up, we have to look in the mirror. Why do we fall for this? Why does the narcissist's trap work so well? It's because they sell us a fantasy. The narcissist offers to be the solution to all your problems. They move fast. They say, "I love you," in the second week. They talk about marriage in the first month. It feels amazing. It feels like a Disney movie, and that is why it is dangerous. Real relationships are slow. Real intimacy takes time. You cannot know someone in 3 weeks. If someone is promising you the world after 2 dates, they aren't soulmates. They are salespeople, and they are selling a product that doesn't exist. If you are someone who has high empathy, or if you are a fixer, you are prime meat for a narcissist. You see their brokenness, the crazy ex story, the victimhood, and you think, "I can save them. I can be the one person who finally understands them." You can't. You cannot love the narcissism out of someone. You are not a rehabilitation center for emotionally stunted adults. So you ask the questions. They trashed their ex. They got mad when you didn't want the appetizers. They said their hero was themselves. Now what? You do not confront them. You do not say, "Aha, I saw a YouTube video and you are a narcissist." If you do that, they will just flip the script. They will call you the narcissist. They will argue until you're dizzy. Remember, you cannot win an argument with someone who rejects reality. The only winning move is not to play. You become boring. You don't fight. You don't explain. You just fade away. "Hey, I didn't feel a spark, but best of luck." And then, and this is crucial, you block. No staying friends. No keeping the door open. Because if you leave a crack in the door, they will slither back in. It might feel harsh. You might think, "Am I being too judgmental? Maybe they just had a bad day." Stop. You are not a judge in a court of law. You don't need proof beyond a reasonable doubt to not date someone. "I don't feel safe" is enough proof. "I don't like how they answered a question" is enough proof. Your duty is not to be fair to strangers. Your duty is to protect your own peace. I want to leave you with this thought. We are addicted to the spark. We want the fireworks. We want the intensity. But fireworks are explosives. They are fun fun to watch, but if you hold them, you lose a hand. The goal of this test isn't just to avoid narcissists. It's to retrain your brain to value the right things. You want someone who owns their mistakes? Question 1. You want someone who respects your boundaries? Question 2. You want someone who can admire others? Question 3. That might sound boring compared to the love-bombing roller coaster of a narcissist, but boring is good. Boring means stability. Boring means you know they aren't going to scream at you because you bought the wrong brand of milk. Boring means you can build a life. So memorize the questions. Use them on the first date. Use them on the job interview. And if the alarm bells ring, don't wait for the red flags. Trust the radar and get out before the mask falls off. Next step. Now, if you are watching this and realizing, uh-oh, I'm already in deep with someone who fails all these tests, don't panic. But also, don't just try to leave without a plan. Leaving a narcissist is dangerous if you do it wrong. I have a specific guide called The Backup Method, which details exactly how to escape a narcissist without them knowing until you're already gone. You can click here to watch that. But before you do, can I ask for your support in the form of likes to help this video reach more people? Stay safe out there.